Have you ever experienced discomfort when facing a challenging decision? Maybe a new job comes along. It's a wonderful opportunity, but the timing is horrible. Or maybe you're making a strategic decision between two choices, and they both have really strong upsides, but also some pretty significant downsides. You feel anxious because there's not a clear choice. Or you feel worried. What if you make the wrong choice? Likewise, you could feel defensive. You've made this choice before. Do I need to stick and be consistent in my path? In all of these cases, ambivalence, discomfort, they're natural. We're human. And at the same time, we don't want to have our hearts necessarily drive our decisions. How do we let our minds play a key role as well? And think from an either or, let's make a trade-off between these challenging approaches to moving towards something more creative and lasting.
Importantly, that doesn't mean that we reject or we resist or we forget about the fact that we feel discomfort. Doing so will only make it worse. Instead, it's about being able to recognize the discomfort and find comfort in those moments. We identify 3 tools to enable us to do so. The first is building in a pause. When we feel uncomfortable emotions, whether in the moment in a decision that we're facing or in a discussion that we're having, one thing that we can do is stop and pause. That pause will allow us to disentangle the uncomfortable emotion and find a different way to move forward. Second, we can then accept the uncomfortable emotions. Research will tell you that the more that we reject or resist our discomfort, the more those feelings will come back even stronger. If we accept them and say yes to them, the less impact that they have on us, the less control they have over the way that we behave. Finally, reach for positive emotions. Both and approaches require us to recognize the negative emotions, use them to fuel our thinking, and also have positive emotions that allow us to expand and open the way that we're thinking. But as humans, we tend to focus on the negative, the fear, the anxiety, and get stuck there. Reaching for positive emotions allows us to expand the way we think. So for example, if you're in a difficult conversation with someone where you have different opinions, instead of just feeling the frustration or the defensiveness, maybe you can pause and think about how grateful you are to be learning an alternative point of view. Or if you're in a difficult decision on your own, again, maybe finding some gratitude that it's in those moments that we learn and grow most. Both and approaches allow us to expand the way that we think about our difficult decisions to come up with more creative alternatives. But we can't just shift the way that we think about them. We also have to consider the way that we feel about them. It's both shifting our minds and our hearts to come up with more creative alternatives.